Hey my dear students, hope you guys are all doing good. Hope you guys are all perfectly fine. I do wish and hope that you guys have started your preparation for upcoming Jan'26 attempt. And if you are a student appearing for this Jan'26 examination, and if you are going to attempt your CA Inter Audit paper either for the first time, or if you have failed in this subject earlier but this time you are very much determined to qualify this auditing paper, then this video is going to be for you all guys. And in this video, I am going to give you a full action plan which you are supposed to follow in the upcoming days till the time of your examination, so that you can increase the odds in your favor to qualify in the CA Inter Audit. I know guys, this subject many people might feel it as a somewhat little bit troubling subject than when compared with others. But if you have a proper approach, if you have a proper mindset, and if you make all the right steps, if you take all the right steps from the beginning of your preparation itself, by the end, this subject will become comparatively easier. So I want to give that ease to each and every one of you who is watching this video, so that this subject audit is no longer going to be a trouble for you all, and you can qualify this subject with reasonable efforts put from your side. And I'm going to direct you, I'm going to tell you how to put that efforts, in what way you are required to put that efforts. That guidance I'm going to give it to you guys. Okay, so please watch this video till the end, so that you don't miss out on any important details. If at all you need any extra clarification, if at all you want any further details, you can always feel free to reach out to me. My contact details will be given in the description of this video, so always feel free to reach out to me. We will always be happy to help you out. Okay, right. So this is what I'm going to talk about in this video. So I have set the agenda for this video. So if you want to qualify CA Inter Audit in Jan'26 attempt, yes, you can 100% do it. Definitely 100% you are capable of doing it. I'm going to be a helping hand in your journey, right? So having said that, see, I will talk about the prioritization of the chapters and all. I will tell you prioritization of the chapters. I have divided the chapters into three broader categories: first priority, second priority, third priority. I will come to the chapter prioritization later, which chapters you have to focus more, which chapters you have to pay more attention. All that I will explain. I will come back to that later. We'll come to this. But there are few basic things which we need to set it right. We have to fulfill some prerequisites. See, generally in audit subject we say it, right? So like if you are aware of the subject of audit, we have a chapter called ethics and terms of the engagement. There I say something called preconditions for an audit, which we also call it as prerequisites. That means before you can start doing the audit, before you can accept doing the audit, so there are some prerequisites which are required to be fulfilled. Similarly, if your target, if your objective is to qualify the CA Inter Auditing examination in the Jan'26 attempt, then there are some prerequisites which you are required to follow. There are some preconditions which you are required to fulfill. Unless you make these things correct, no matter whatever approach I tell you, that will not be of any advantage for you all. So let us make our basic things right. Let us set our things right, so that then we can follow that approach. Okay, so few fundamental things which you have to make it right is: number one, first and foremost thing, this is what everybody might be doing till now: don't delay your preparation. Never ever delay your preparation. I know guys, there are some students who might be thinking, starting from next Monday I will start my preparation, or from the first of the next month I will start my preparation, or let this festival season go away, then I will start my preparation. I know these are all the thoughts which are going in your brain. Please knock out all that thoughts. Start your preparation now. As early as you can start it, the better you are increasing the chances for qualification. The more you delay it, the more chances you are increasing for disqualifying in the examination. That means for failing in the examination. So let me be straightforward here. Let me be very honest here. Don't delay your preparation. Not next Monday, not first of the next month. So nothing like that. Start the preparation now itself. As early as you started, the more chances for you to qualify the examination. Okay, we are all masters in procrastination. I know it guys. We delay the things till the last moment. But this time you have to change it. And I do wish that you guys will definitely change and start your preparation as early as possible. Then, as I always say, see, often people treat this subject audit as a theory subject, but I always insist on one important point. Guys, audit is not a theory subject. Audit is something which is a practical subject. I will not say it is problematic where you are required to solve some problems, but I deny the fact that people saying auditing is a theory paper. I fight with them and I say that auditing is a practical subject where you have to learn the things not with the intention of memorizing, you have to learn the things with the intention of applying it. That is what differentiates, that is what the factor which will differentiate whether you will feel difficulty in preparation or you will feel that ease in the preparation. So always guys, always concept has to be first. So when you are learning the subject, learn the concepts. Don't try to learn the subject with the intention of memorizing it. Question paper patterns are changing. Question paper patterns are evolving. If you are such a student who have already attempted for CA Inter Auditing examination earlier, if you have not attended, at least go and refer to the question paper once, look at the MCQs, look at the descriptive questions. You are not finding direct questions. They will give you scenario based questions where you are required to understand the question what they are asking. Then you have to analyze which part of the chapter you are required to write it. So lot of conceptual application is getting tested these days. So never ever stop. If you are learning with, in case if you are learning with the intention of memorizing the content, please do stop it guys. Concept should always be first. 100% you have to focus on the concept. Okay. So please 100% focus on the concept. When you are learning it, learn with the intention of application, not with the intention of memorizing. If you have not yet attended any of the lectures till now, if you have not yet had that conceptual clarity in the subject of audit, so for your information, recently we have started CA Inter Audit live batch. We have started for Jan 26 attempt. It is going to be an online live batch. We are running it from September 22nd. On every day 9 to 1, we are successfully running that batch. Many people are attending live. We are having many interactive sessions, and on everyday basis recordings also I am uploading. Even today, see, I am recording this video on, so today the date is 28th. I am recording this video on 28th. So when I am recording this video, today also we had the class, and today's recordings also we have uploaded. Within 1 hour, 1 or 2 hours of completion of the class, we are uploading the recordings also. So still, if you want to have that conceptual clarity, if you have not yet joined our online live classes, still you can get access to the recordings. On everyday basis, we are uploading the recordings of around 3.5 to 4 hours. So you can go, you can cope up with the recordings, and you can come to the live also. So whatever it is, it's up to your choice. So in case if you have not attended any lecture, in case if you have attended the lectures but you are lacking that conceptual clarity, and in case if you have attempted for the exam in the past attempt but you are unable to understand the questions, especially MCQs and all, if you are unable to understand the questions, if you are unable to interpret the questions, then definitely the most important thing which you are lacking is conceptual clarity, and I am here to assist you in getting that conceptual clarity. So kindly do check our website. I will give the link of that website in the description. You please do visit it and you will find all the details there. Okay, next. Adopt to the language of the subject. See, the beauty of the subject of audit is it is having its own language. When I say language, I am not referring to this English, Tamil, Telugu, French. No, I am not referring to that language. Yes, we have to give our examination in English only. But the subject audit involves a technical knowledge. In English only, they use specific kind of phrases. Like throughout the subject of the audit, you find something called reasonable assurance, sufficient and appropriate audit evidence, risk of material misstatement, professional judgment. So the beauty of the subject of audit lies in that language. But today what the students are doing the mistake, they are trying to learn the concept in a simplified manner. Simplified manner in the sense, definitely have to understand the concept in a simplified manner. But at the time of learning, you should adopt to the language. So if you are learning from someone or if you are learning on your own, if you are trying to dilute the language so much, if you are trying to learn the concept so much in a very basic terminology, in a basic English language, and if you are not bringing that technical terminology into your preparation, then let me tell you, you will not score the marks in the examination. You will definitely not score the marks in the examination. Sometimes you get that feel, no, like you will feel that you have written the answer in a correct manner. But when you actually get the results will not be as expected. You all will have confidence that yes, I know this concept, I have learned this concept, I have learned it on my own, or I have heard this concept from some faculty. With a lot of confidence, you will write the answer in the examination, but when you look at the result, it will not be as expected. So the main reason there will be you are lacking on presentation. You are lacking presentation, and why you are lacking on that presentation is because you did not adopt to the language of the subject. You are learning the subject in a very simplified manner. And let me tell you, if you are not adopting to the language of the subject, here also major difficulty what you will feel in the examination is you will not understand the questions they are asking in the examination. You will not understand even descriptives or MCQs, whatever it is. You will not be able to understand the question itself, and you will not be able to present it. Okay, so you have to adopt to the language of the standard, and if you adopt to the language of the standard, ultimate outcome is going to be remembrance of the keywords. As I have told, no, throughout the subject of the audit, we have to use that phrases. See, they say that sufficient and appropriate audit evidence. Throughout the subject of audit, they use that phrase. You can also say it, enough of audit, enough of audit also you can say it. But if you write, auditor should get enough of audit evidence, you will not going to get the marks. You will definitely not get the marks. So if you want to get the marks, you have to write definitely that words sufficient and appropriate audit evidence. So unless and until you are putting that phrase on that answer paper in your exam hall, you are not going to get the marks. So you have to identify the keywords when you are learning the subject, and you have to start remembering that keywords. And as I have told in our online live batch, I am training the students from day one itself on all these matters. So we are delivering exceptional concept for the students, and I'm at the time of teaching itself, I'm making them adopt to the language of the standards, and in the classroom itself, I'm making them repeat so many number of times that keywords and making them memorize it even in the classroom itself, so that later when they open the book and sit for reading, it should not look like they are learning some new sentences. So all that has been taken care, right? So these are the few fundamental things, right? Things, guys, which you have to make it right if you want to, if your target, if your objective is to qualify the examination. So what are the fundamental things which you have to make it right? Number one, we should not delay our preparation. As early as you could, you have to start your preparation. Always concept first and adopt to the language of the subject, and you have to focus on remembering the keywords. If you could make this fundamental things right, there is nothing stopping you from qualifying the Jan'26 attempt. Okay, so having said that, now let us come to the prioritization of the chapter. Prioritization of the chapters. So we have so many chapters as a part of our CA Inter Audit. So what I have done is I have divided all the chapters into three priorities, three categories. First priority, second priority, and third priority. See, you have to prepare for the chapters in this order, and let me tell you one thing: the more number of chapters you will be covering, the more the chances you will qualify in the examination. So if you are able to cover only the content till here, do you have a chance of passing the examination? Maybe, but the probability is less. If you cover the content till second priority chapter, do you have a chance of passing the examination? Yes, when compared with the previous case, here the probability could be little more higher. And if you could complete this third priority chapters also, then do you have a chance of qualifying the examination? Yes. What is the probability? Very, very high. So it's up to you, guys. The more you are able to cover the chapters in this order, the better the chances you will be able to qualify, my dear students. So I am recording this video. While I am recording this video, say around 100 days of time is left for the Jan'26 examination. 100 days of time is left. When this video gets posted, it might be plus or minus 2 days, whatever it is. So on an average, I have 100 days of time. You have 100 days of time. You have 3 months of time on an average to complete your preparation. And I do expect that in this prioritization, you can cover maximum of the chapters. If you dedicatedly sit for 12 to 13 hours on a daily basis, enough 12 to 13 hours, if you sit on a daily basis, you will be happily able to cover till here. I am telling you, all you will be able to cover. Okay, so I am not saying you to leave out anything. I am going to tell you the more time you get, the more chances you have to, the more chapters you have to cover it. So more the chapters you are covering, better will be the chances for you to qualify. So in this order, you can go with your preparation. Okay, so I have given the first prioritization of the chapters, where I have identified very fundamental chapters, the chapters which are important from the concept perspective and which carry a good amount of weightage. If your time is good enough, in the worst case scenario also, we can expect somewhere around 35 marks. I am telling you in the worst case scenario. If the time is good enough, some 45 to 50 marks also you can expect from this bunch. Once again, it is all probability, guys, depending on the past examination trends and all. So, but in the worst case scenario also, you might be able to cover 30 marks. Okay, so what is that bunch of chapters? Number one, nature, objective, and scope of audit. Very simple chapter, very small chapter. All the fundamental concepts will be there in the nature, objective, and scope of audit. Like what is origin of audit, what is the scope of audit, and what is included, what is not included. So like that, all the fundamental aspects will be there. Very simple chapter, compulsory question. Then we have a chapter called ethics and the terms of engagement, where they talk about that ethical requirements, 5 fundamental principles, threats to independence, safeguards to threats to independence. Then they will speak about engagement letter, changes in the terms of engagement, when you require engagement letter in the case of recurring audit. So that SA 210 discussion will be there. Very interesting content, very easy content, will not take much of the time to revise and prepare and revise for it. So definitely that chapter you have to complete. Then the most interesting, the lovely chapter, audit reporting, very practical, very logical, very interesting. That will keep you. This chapter will make you sit for hours and you could prepare it without getting bored. Okay. So this audit reporting chapter, very, very important even for the MCQs also. In the recent MCQs also, they have tested a good number of weightage from this audit reporting chapter. From the MCQ perspective, from the descriptive perspective, very, very important from the examination perspective. So go with the audit reporting chapter. In the audit reporting, what and all you have to cover: 700, 701, 705, 706. And also we have various reporting requirements under Companies Act, which will fall under 143 subsection 1. Then we have 143 subsection 3. Then you have 143 subsection 11, which we also call it as CARO. And also we have 143 subsection 12, fraud reporting, cover all the reporting requirements under Companies Act. Then we have SA 299, very simple standard, which is talking about the joint audit. Hardly in 45 minutes, you will be able to wind up the entire standard in a very perfect manner. That SA 299 you can cover. And also there will be one more small concept which I forgot to mention. Branch audit related discussion also will be there. Little discussion regarding branch audit also will be there. That also you have to cover it. Okay. Then we have audit documentation and evidence chapter. So audit documentation SA 230 and audit evidence SA 500. This chapter you have to cover it. Very simple, very easy chapter, important from examination perspective. And also one more thing I forgot to mention here, if you want to get access to the books. So recently we have revamped our books. We have released the colored version of our books actually. So this is the glimpse of the book, whatever we have prepared for this upcoming Jan 26 attempt, where the book is going to be a colored version of the material. So and even we have the question bank. We have created one comprehensive source of question bank where we have gathered all the questions from the study material, RTPs, MTPs starting from May 2022. So we have collected somewhere around some 300 pages of the question bank also we have created. So these concept notes, these question bank, everything we have made it available on the website. You can, even if you want to order these books separately, that also you can do it. And these materials are completely in line with the study material. Nothing will be missed. Whatever is there in the study material, everything will be covered as a part of this concept notes and question bank. Nothing will be missed out. You are all covered. Okay, right. Now, once again, if you come back to the discussion, so audit documentation evidence, that chunk of chapter you completed. Then we have audit strategy, planning and program, and also materiality. And if you follow my material, this both I have clubbed into single chapter only. In the audit strategy, planning and program itself, you will find materiality related discussion. Very simple chapter, guys. No concept here. Point wise questions will be there. Here purely you have to work on remembrance. So this audit strategy, planning and program, and materiality, this chapter is also very important. And the recent times we are seeing 6 marks of questions minimum from these concepts, audit strategy, planning and program, including materiality. Then now many people will become unhappy here. Sir, risk assessment, very complicated subject. No sir, very complicated chapter. No sir, you are keeping it in the first category. You are keeping it in the first priority. Let me give you one caution here. I want to tell you, don't worry, I will tell you, I will not make it complicated. I'm here to make the work easy for you. See, risk assessment internal control chapter is a very big chapter, and I know it is very difficult. It is very difficult because the terminology is so complex there. So now here I have divided a chapter into 2 parts. You will have part 1 where there is a risk assessment part. Okay, so till a few concepts, whatever related to risk assessment. Like if you see here, till heading number 6.6, you have this concept relating to risk assessment. Then after that you have internal control part. What I will tell you is, keep that internal control part aside, but just come to the risk assessment part. These 6 topics in the risk assessment are there, no? That you have to get the concept. If you don't memorize it also, I don't have a problem. If you keep the memorization part later, if you even this risk assessment part also, that one part of the chapter, if you memorize the chapter later also, it will be okay. But you have to understand the concept of this chapter. You have to understand the concept of this topic, risk assessment, guys. But it's very unfortunate to say it, many students will ignore this chapter, risk assessment. I am telling you, if you're not understanding the concept of the risk assessment, you are not understanding the subject in a correct perspective. Why? Because if you have a knowledge of the subject of the audit, we always say that first and foremost audit procedure which you perform is risk assessment procedure. First and foremost step in the audit itself is risk assessment. After doing risk assessment, then we proceed with the next part of the audit. Even before planning, we do the risk assessment, right? But many students are ignoring this risk assessment part. How can you imagine ignoring the first step of the audit process? How do you think all the chapters, all the concept will sit in a proper place? No, guys, it will not sit in a proper place if you don't understand risk assessment. That is the first and foremost step which we do in the audit. And it's very disheartening to see the people leaving out this concept. So that's why in the risk assessment and internal control chapter, whatever risk assessment part is there, I am telling you once again, even if you don't memorize also, I'm okay. Memorization, you can keep it in the third category, but it's very important to understand the concept. In the first prioritization only, you have to understand the concept. So I'm writing it here also. I expect you to understand. I don't expect you to memorize here. I expect you to understand the concept, because without understanding the concept of risk assessment, discussion will always remain incomplete. Okay, it is having linkages with so many standards. Entire 500 series of the standards is linked with risk assessment part. And how can you dare to leave it? I don't know how you are getting that belief. Okay, so these are all first priority, top prioritization of the chapters. So once you are comfortably done till here, okay, significant chunk of portion you have completed. You can have a little bit of relief, but your job is not yet done. Now you have to come to the second prioritization of the chapters, where 500 series of the standards. Learn it, guys. 500, no need to include it here. Why? Because it will already get covered in the audit evidence. In this chapter, audit evidence itself, it will get covered. Apart from that, SA 501, 501, 505, SA 501, that specific elements, 3 items, audit evidence, it will talk. SA 505, external confirmation. SA 510, initial audit engagement, opening balances. Then we have 550 related parties, 570 going concern. I missed out one more thing here. 560 subsequent events, very, very important. 560, I missed it out here. So 560 also you have to cover it. So, and also 580 written representation. This chunk of standards you cover it. I am telling you, MCQs you can rock it. MCQs, minimum number of marks you can get it from the MCQs. So that's why pick up 500 series of the standards and try to complete that 500 series. I am telling you once again, focus on the concept there. Focus on concept. Why? Because from here descriptive questions also will come, and here descriptive question will never be a direct question. They will always give a scenario and they will ask you to answer it. And if you have to understand the question, first if you have to identify that question is from the standards, to identify itself you need a strong concept there. So that's why 500 series of the standards you cover it, which will include 501, 505, 510, 550, 560, 570, 580. Then after that, two standards, which one specific standard SQC1 and another standard SA 220, both are going to talk about how can you ensure quality control. So from these standards also recently the weightage is getting increased. Previously they don't used to ask questions here, very less amount of questions they used to ask, but these days they are asking descriptive questions from SQC1 and SA 220. Try to wind it up. These two standards somewhat look related. Okay, so both you have to complete in one go. You should not divide the preparation between SQC1 and SA 220. Both the standards should be completed in one go. And after that, audit sampling chapter, small chapter, compulsory question, SA 530 basically. So try to complete audit sampling. Now comes the elephant in the room. Now comes those chapters which I will consider as elephant in the room, which is audit of items of the financial statements and audit of various entities. I know you all will be threatened by looking at the size of these chapters, right? But these chapters you should not leave it, guys. Many students are leaving these chapters. These chapters you should not leave it. So these chapters you have to compulsorily prepare for it. Compulsorily prepare for it. So when it comes to audit of items of the financial statements and when it comes to audit of various entities, both these chapters put together, I'm telling you, in the worst case scenario also 12 to 14 marks they are testing it. How many marks? 12 to 14 marks, guys. Just imagine how much amount of risk you are taking by leaving out these two chapters. And there were attempts in which they have asked even 16 marks of questions from these two chapters put together. And if you want to leave these two chapters as a choice, just rethink once again how much risk you are taking it. Okay, so I will say don't leave out these chapters. And for these two chapters specifically, if you don't want to refer the detailed material, only for these two chapters, I have even the summary notes also. From that summary notes, you can recollect it. Okay, but at least one reading of the main material you are required to give it. So these two chapters, you have to go through the entire chapter. And what I will say is prepare this chapter as close as possible to the examination. And even in my day before examination strategy also, often I will say, if you are going for examination around 2 p.m. in the afternoon, if you are closing your preparation by 12 o'clock and all, last 2 hours you have to dedicate it for revising these two chapters. Why? Because this chapter will not have any concept. So many points of remembrance will be there. So try to prepare it as close as possible to the examination, but don't leave it. See, when I say here in the, when I have to say prepare it as close to the examination as possible, generally it should come here. But if I keep it in the third priority, what you will say, you will ignore it altogether. No, that's not my intention. You have to compulsorily cover these two chapters, but as close as possible to the examination. Why? Because this chapter contains a lot of remembrance. There will be no concept. So many list of points are there which you are required to remember. So try to prepare for it as close as possible to the examination, but compulsorily you prepare it. And if you ask me, the last 5-4 days of preparation, so say for example, your exams are going to start somewhere around 5th of Jan and all. So say for example, 3rd and 4th, you will dedicate it for accounts. So till 2nd of January, you will prepare for all subjects, no? Till 2nd of January, you will have a schedule, right? Where you will prepare all the subjects. So if you are preparing till 2nd of January, I will say that from December. So starting from 28th of December till 2nd of January, in these 4 days, you try to plan preparing for these 2 chapters. Don't leave it out. At the end, at the last block of the preparation, you reserve these 2 chapters, but compulsorily prepare it. Dedicate that last 4 days. I will say 28th of December till 2nd of January. In these days, you will definitely prepare for all the subjects, and there you try to plan for audit, and in that duration, you try to cover the content of these 2 chapters. Why? Because if you prepare these chapters closer to the examination, the longer you will retain it. Because exam will be close, right? Till the exam, there are more chances for retaining the content of these 2 chapters. So that's why prepare it as close as possible to the examination. So this is what regarding the second cluster. So if you are able to complete your preparation till here, there are odds, there are chances in your favor to qualify the examination, and the probability is also a little bit higher here. Now, once you have completed this part, you should not stop it. You need to have a look at the third prioritization also. So I've identified 3 standards here: 260, 265, 450. These standards are recently added. A few attempts ago, they have recently added it. But from the time they have added these 3 standards, they have asked enough of questions from these 3 standards. These 3 standards are recently added. But even though they have recently added, from the moment they have been added till now, whatever examinations they have tested, till now whatever examinations have taken place, in all that examinations they have tested reasonable number of questions from SA 260 and 265 and 450. So that's why, since they are repeatedly testing it, so I have kept it in the third prioritization. Okay, but at least you should have a look. If at all, if they ask any MCQs, we should be able to answer it. Then I have kept audit of banks. Sir, audit of banks, will there not be any question? Compulsory question will be there. 100% compulsory question will be there. And if you follow my channel, recently I have uploaded a video of only MCQ topics. What are the topics in the audit of banks chapter where there is a chance of asking MCQs? I have done the video on day before exam. In the recent September 25 examination, the night before the exam date, I have uploaded the video of MCQ topics in the audit of banks. Straight away from that video, 2 MCQs, 2 direct MCQs, 4 marks. 4 marks they have tested from those MCQ topics. So MCQs are going to be very, very important here. There are some important concepts I have explained in that video that you can refer it. Okay, but from this audit of banks also, definitely they will ask a question, but keeping in mind the size and complexity, the amount of time which you could spend in audit of banks, that same amount of time you can spend it in the other concepts and you can learn easily. So that's why I have kept it in the third prioritization. Then in the risk assessment part, we have covered internal risk assessment part, right? But internal control part is pending, that I have kept it in the third prioritization. And analytical procedures, this also I have kept it in the third prioritization. Then we have audit in automated environment chapter. Here students face a difficulty in remembering that content. This technical terminology will be there. So students will find difficult in retaining the content. And also from the weightage perspective, they might ask a question. If at all they ask a question, somewhere around 3 to 4 marks, they will ask a question. So that I have kept it under third prioritization. And SA 330, which will be as a part of risk assessment and internal control. Once again, very difficult from the student perspective to remember. So that's why I have kept it in the third priority. And also I think one more standard I have missed, SA 710, comparative financial statements and corresponding figures. So that standard SA 710 also we have, that also I am adding it here in the third priority. So these are not that student friendly. These topics are not that student friendly. So that's why I have kept it under third prioritization. So once again, I am telling you this order. So you should try to cover till the end. But the more you cover, if you are unable to cover, try to cover as much as you can. And once again, I am telling you, the more you are able to cover, the more the number of chapters you are able to cover, the more the chances that you will qualify in the examination. Okay. So this is what going to be the full action plan for your upcoming CA Inter Jan 2026 attempt. I do wish and hope that this video is going to help you out in your preparation. And as I have told, if you want any further details, if you need any further details, if you want to have access to our lectures, if you want to purchase our books and all, so link of the website, I will give it in the description. You can kindly visit that website and order our classes, order our books, and support this video, share this video with your friends. If you find that your friends also could benefit from this video, kindly do share it with them. And if you liked it, please do like the video also. And take care everyone. Bye. See you in the next video. Take care.